Hi everybody. This morning in the video conference we analyzed a short story written by Asimov, The Fun They Had, and I have decided to record the lesson, a short video lesson, to sum up the main ideas of the story. The reason why I have chosen this story is that it is linked to the present situation. It deals with a topical issue today, the new school system, the new way of teaching. The story was written by Asimov. It came out in 1951, so many years ago, but it is a highly modern story. Usually science fiction is set in the future, and is, in fact, if you have a look at the story, at the first line of the story is set in 2157, so in a future time. And very often these writers, the writers of science fiction, deals with things which are actual real problems, serious problems. So initially this genre was considered a secondary one, it was given less importance. But today it is widely recognized that science fiction is an important type of novel. The story begins with a discovery. Tommy had found a real book. Tommy was in the attic, and when he was in the attic, he came across phrasal verb, which means find by chance. He came across an old book. And what was the old book like? It was a book which was made of paper, carta. It was yellow and crinkly, so the pages had been damaged by time. And what was typical, you can see highlighted in yellow, the words did not move, the words stood still. And Tommy actually didn't like that type of book. He said that it was a waste, uno spreco, because when you finish reading a book, a paper book, you have to throw it away. Instead, in 2157, they had books, they had telebooks, so which could contain a lot of books. And after reading, you wouldn't throw it away. Margie, who is younger than Tommy, she's 11, asks him, "What is the book about?" And Tommy replies that the book is about school. And she was a bit scornful, which means sprezzante. She didn't like the idea of school. And why? Because she hated school. Because in the school of the future, in the school of their times, they didn't have a human teacher. They had a mechanical teacher, like a computer. And this computer gave Margie a lot of tests in geography, and she did worse and worse, which means sempre peggio. So she hated school because the marks she got from this teacher, from this computer teacher, were not good. And then Tommy said to her, he told her that the school in the book is not their school, it's a different type of school. It's a school in which they had a teacher, and the teacher was a human being. The teacher was a man, was a person. Moreover, Tommy says, and it is highlighted here in a violet color, the teachers didn't live in the house like the mechanical teacher, because there was a special building, a school, where all the kids, all the students went. And all the students learned the same things. The students, same age, were given the same teachings. So he describes school in our times, school at the time when there is Lessons are given in a building, in a school, and the students go to school every day. After a while, Margie's mother arrives in order to tell Margie that it's time to start the lesson, that the mechanical teacher is waiting for her. And obviously, she's not happy. So she went with a sigh. Sigh is sospiro. And she started a lesson immediately about proper fractions, and she was asked to put her homework into a slot. A slot is fessura. While doing that, Margie thought about school in the old days, when all the students went to the same building, when they went to school all together, when they laughed, when they shouted in the schoolyard, when they sat in classroom together, when they did the same things, and they were given the same explanation, and they could also talk to each other and help each other with their homework. So the conclusion of the story, which is in the last sentence, in the last paragraph, Margie was thinking about how the kids must have loved it in the old days. She was thinking about the fun they had. So, in a way, she is nostalgic of a type of school that belonged to the past. Well, now what I would like you to do, the story is very simple. I would like you to answer these 5 questions, which are the comprehension, and then, more importantly, I would like you to write a composition. I don't want you to follow any structure, particular structure. I don't want you to follow the structure of the essay. You can feel free to write whatever crosses your mind. And this is the title of the composition. Taking into consideration the present situation, which is characterized by a different way of conceiving, concepire school, a different way of teaching. I would like you to compare the current learning experience based on technology and distance learning to ordinary school activity. So school activity before the spread of this terrible virus. Write about the advantages and disadvantages that the new teaching system has. So I would like you to have a sort of critical attitude. Think about what is positive and what is negative in the new system. Moreover, think about how the current situation has modified our lifestyles. Write about your feelings, your concerns, your worries, your fears, and what is the best way of coping with the present situation. So write something which is interesting, which is original, which is personal. I wrote at least 200 words, but you can write as many as you want. The longer, the more original your composition will be, the better and the happier, let's say, the happier I will be. So do a good job and see you next Monday.